there, my name is Bailey and I'm one of the counselors here at Whole Women's Health. What's your name?
Hi, I'm Kathy Stewart.
It's so nice to meet you, Kathy. Before we get started today, I'm just going to ask to go over a little bit of paperwork with you. This is an informed consent paper, and I'm just going to read it out loud to you. If you have any questions, let me know. I, Kathy Stewart, which is you, give my permission for Bailey Surber, which is me, an undergraduate student in Social Work 3311, Human Behavior in Angelo State University, to conduct a person and environment assessment that includes a personal interview that will be recorded for the educational and training purposes. I understand that the undergraduate student conducting the interview is in training and is therefore not qualified to provide with any feedback regarding my evaluation results. I also understand that the results of this evaluation are confidential and that some of the information I provide will be altered to disguise my identity. Did you understand all of that?
Yes, it was very clear.
All right, if you could just sign right there for me, I would greatly appreciate it.
Today's the 17th, correct?
It is. Thank you so much. And I also just wanted to ask real quick, is it all right if I take a couple of notes while we're...
That's perfectly fine.
All right, awesome. So let's just jump right in. So let's start by talking about why you came in to see me today.
Well, recently my husband of 10 years passed away very suddenly. Since then, I've kind of been struggling to cope with my emotions. I feel really sad and kind of upset most of the time. I just can't seem to come to terms with the fact that I'm all alone now since we were together for so long. Mm-hmm. I'm also starting to struggle financially and I'm having some trouble connecting with my children since then.
I am so sorry to hear about your husband passing. Besides these emotional issues that you've been experiencing, is there anything else going on that you think is affecting your day-to-day life? Maybe are you feeling physically okay?
Well, along with the feeling sad and worthless sometimes, I've been experiencing some really bad headaches that tend to make me kind of nauseous and dizzy. I'm not sure exactly what's causing them, but when they hit me, I'm forced to take pain medication and lay in bed until it goes away.
That's definitely something we want to address. Have you been to see a doctor about the headaches you've been having?
No, I've just been so busy with my kids and trying to take care of our household that I haven't had a whole lot of time to see a doctor about them.
Well, along with us working on your mental health, it's also important to take care of your physical health as well. Let's work on getting you set up with an affordable primary care physician here in town. Would that be something that you'd be interested in?
Oh yeah, I would love to see a doctor about maybe helping me with these headaches.
Great. I can totally work on setting you up with some doctors here in town that might be able to help you.
Thank you so much.
So now let's talk about these feelings of sadness that you say you've been experiencing.
Okay. Sometimes I just feel really sad and sometimes hopeless as well. I feel like I'm dealing with all of these issues on my own.
Well, Kathy, the first thing that we want to talk about is that you're not alone in dealing with these issues. There are many people in your life that are here to support and help you. Let's talk about some of the support systems that you may have in your life. Do you have any family that lives here?
Well, I don't have any family that lives here, but I do attend a church here in town.
Okay, so even though you don't have any family here, you do have a church community that you're a part of. Do you ever talk to anybody at your church? Maybe some of the women that have experienced something similar, or maybe your preacher?
I have talked with my preacher, and he suggested that I join a support group for widowed women at our church.
Well, have you attended this group that your preacher suggested?
I haven't yet. Do you think it's a good idea?
I think that it might be beneficial for you to talk to other women who have experienced similar situations to yours. Do you think that would be something you'd be interested in?
I think so. The meetings are on Sundays while my children are in Sunday school, so it would work really well with my schedule.
That's great, Kathy. Another thing I wanted to talk to you about is your relationship with your children. You mentioned that you've been struggling to connect with them. How would you describe that relationship with them?
I feel like I haven't been able to really talk to them about their father passing because I myself haven't properly dealt with it. I feel like I'm failing them as a mother by not being able to provide adequately financially for them as well. I'm just not quite sure how to improve that relationship right now.
Well, one way that you can improve your relationship with them is by dealing with your own personal grief in order to help them deal with theirs. Sometimes we have to realize that in order to help others, we need to help ourselves first. By coming here today and seeking help, it just shows that you're a great mother and that you're already trying to be better for your children.
Well, thank you. I didn't realize that coming here and talking to someone could be so beneficial for me.
It can. You also mentioned that one of the stressors in your life was your fear of not being able to provide financially for your family. Tell me a little bit about that.
Well, when my husband was alive, he was the main breadwinner. He had a good paying job and supported us financially while I stayed home with the kids and I took care of our house. Now I'm just so ill-equipped to be the sole provider for the household.
It can be really difficult when a new role and new responsibilities are placed on you so suddenly. Even knowing where to begin to find employment can be a daunting task if you've never done it before. Have you taken any steps to finding a job?
Well, I've applied to a few jobs here in town, but I just haven't gotten any responses. I just feel like I'm not qualified for anything. I haven't had a job since I was 20 years old. I feel like I don't have any skills anymore.
Well, I'd be happy to connect you with some workforce agencies that we have here in town. Maybe they can help you build your skill set or help you find some sort of employment.
That would really help a whole lot, thank you.
What types of jobs do you think you'd be interested in?
I think maybe something administrative like a receptionist or even customer service would be a perfect fit.
Well, see, there's a start. I'm sure the workforce agencies can work with you on some skills that would be helpful for you in those fields. But until you get a job and start making money, are you currently able to pay for all your bills and food for your family? Or do we need to maybe see about getting you some financial assistance? There are some excellent programs like WIC and TANF that can help you get on your feet financially.
I'm currently able to pay the bills with the Social Security I get each month for my husband passing. It's enough to cover the bills and to buy enough food, but I would like to have the income I used to so that I can afford those nicer things for my kids that they're used to.
I understand that, and that's really great that you want to do that. But if you ever find yourself needing assistance, though, don't be scared to come ask me for help. Also, when you do get a job, do you have reliable transportation to get to and from?
I do have my own car that runs reliably, so getting to and from a job would be no problem.
That's really, really good. So, is there anything that we didn't talk about today that you wanted to cover?
I don't think so. Those were the main issues I thought of when I wanted to come in.
Okay, so we talked about kind of the emotional problems you've been having and the headaches, which we're going to get you set up with a doctor for. We also talked about your relationship with your children and maybe how we can work on building that relationship back up. And we also talked about some employment opportunities that maybe the workforce agencies here in town can help you build some skills or maybe find you some employment. Are there any questions you have for me today?
I don't believe so. I think you covered everything pretty well.
Well, that's really great. So our time is up for this session today, but I feel like we should meet back next week and pick up where we left off.
Perfect. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Kathy.